Welcome back to Serenity, Strength, and Style with Sylvia Ewing and Friends. This is our pilot, and I'm Sylvia, and I invite you to go, just breathe. Make this your moment for yourself. We're here to help your light shine, to help you find your love, to help you find your compassion and joy, and to learn about great things going on in Chicago and around the country. We know that these are uncertain times in our nation, but what can we do in response? We can remember our ancestors and that we have come this far by faith. It's through story that we developed acts of resilience and resistance. It's through song, art, connection, community, health, and service that our people have survived. I'm here with a few friends to share stories of serenity, strength, and style to strengthen our culture and shine forth our faith. Thanks for joining us. And now my first guest is Julia Perkins. Hey, Julia.
Hey, Sylvia. Thank you so much for having me join you today.
I'm
I'm
so
so
glad.
excited.
We were talking about this, we're like,
Yeah.
what's your claim to fame?
What's my claim to fame? Well, I think I have two things. I've been a consultant in the nonprofit world for about 30 years. And I think that my consultancy firm really developed a strong reputation about integrity, about truly active listening, about hearing the people's voices within those organizations, ensuring that there's parity, also coming up with creative solutions. So I think that in the consultancy arm was a claim to fame, if you want to call it that. The other is that just recently, 3 years ago, I opened up a yoga studio called Studio Yogi, 1870 East 71st Street in Chicago. And I did it because we had such a dearth of health and wellness facilities and spaces in my community, and I didn't understand why. And so I had the opportunity. I took my savings, and I said, okay, I'm going to invest my savings because I believe that this is something that the community needs. And, it was a hard road to toe. I must admit, my faith came in every single day.
But it's so beautiful.
No, it is. It's a beautiful space. And I wanted the space to be one for community, one in which we all can individually and collectively embrace our wellness journey, however you describe your wellness journey, but knowing that there is a community there to be supportive. And, one of the modality that we use is yoga, but, there are all other types of workshops and things that we offer there, but I wanted it really to be a space for my community. I mean, I've lived in South Shore for 30 years, and that was part of what I wanted to leave as a legacy to my community.
Well, see, and I love it because we're in those ages. I'm 69. We talk about our legacy. It's not too early. My dad will say, oh, that's young because he's 90-something. But what's your passion?
My passion now is in the sphere of health and wellness. It's really yoga because I love yoga. It has been so helpful for me. I mean, that I have gone through like 2 knee replacements. I have replacement parts.
Me too. We have like 4 new knees in this joint.
Exactly. And it has been so helpful in terms of my movement and flexibility, but it also has given me a sense of empowerment that I didn't have before. And so even though I had been practicing, way before, like 15 years or so, it was after the surgery that it took on a whole new meaning for my life. And so I was able to kind of embrace it, and it has worked for me. So yeah.
I love it. And we've had such, intergenerational folks on this program, inspiration if people were afraid of these things. There's a definition of serenity that is finding a space of peace, finding a space of calm. How do you enter into that space?
Oh, that's really a good question. I think for me, it's not the absence of noise so much as it's the presence of having intention.
Oh.
The presence of having a space that you are calm and you are tranquil and at peace. You know, sometimes I call that my center line, where I don't have all of these other things. I'm just in this even space of being. And I can do that anywhere. However, I tend to do it while I'm on my yoga mat. Specifically when I do my yin and restorative yoga, it just enables my body and mind just to be in that moment. I'm able to breathe, I'm able to be still, and I'm also able to pray and to hear things that in the scheme of a day, I can't. But when I get to that serene place where my mind and body is serene, wherever that is, I'm able to hear, you know, and it nurtures my soul.
That is beautiful, because we have so many distractions and noises. That's your serenity. We know that your work and your yoga brings you strength. How do you give back to our people?
Well, I think in different ways. I mean, I think it's a really good question. And, you know, I'm struggling a little bit with it because I try to give back every day. But I think in terms of our people, it's having a space that they can feel safe, they can feel comfortable, that they know that they are included and belong. You know, they're not excluded. You don't have to be pretentious about anything. You are being your authentic self. And the studio space provides that. You know, it provides the sense of community and collective belonging, which is so important, especially in an area that has been underserved, you know, under-resourced, to have this space.
It's almost like an Armani village.
Yes, yes.
I love that. I love that. And you can just see your joy in your smile. But speaking of like seeing things, what's your style? How do you walk through the world?
How do I walk through the world? With replacement part knees.
There's that part.
Right there, right now. You know, I think I walk through the world kind of like an African warrior, but not with the outward appearance. It's internal to me. You know, it's the warrior energy that I use every day to be resilient, to be mindful, to be engaged. It gives me courage. And so with that spirit, I'm able to walk through life and do the things that I need to. Again, it's internal to me.
It is.
You know, people might on the outside, they're not supposed to see it because it's mine.
But you do have your yoga style. I mean, I'm loving this oversized, your favorite, you know, sweatshirt, cool pants, you know, yoga earrings.
It's, you know, I am at a stage that, you know, I can't go and put on all of this stuff. It's like, what is comfortable for me? How can I walk through life being comfortable? High heel shoes is not the way. You know, so flats and just being comfortable, which helps me, I think, tap in to my energy, you know, that inner energy that I have in this moment at this age, being 66. So
we love it. Remember, I'm older. I like to be the older one.
We're
I'm immature, the immature 8-year-old personality, but I'm the oldest.
All right. Okay. All right.
Thank you for that. As we wrap up our time together, it's been too short. You have to come back.
I definitely would love to. Thank you.
And I think I have some pictures of your studio. I'll check with William, because I know that you do yoga and people rent it and, you know, bring events to the space.
That's right.
But what are you looking forward to? Not something next week, but, you know, what is on the horizon for you?
Well, being in like what do they call it? The fourth quarter of life.
See, I call it third chapter. And wait a minute. I am early winter.
Early winter.
Late fall, early winter.
All right. Well, I'm just kind of calling it like the fourth quarter in life. That I really want to make sure that everything I do has a meaning and purpose. because, you know, this is that last quarter. I don't have time to waste on things that are inconsequential, that are not going to be impactful either to my personal fulfillment or to others. And so that's my project. And I guess it's almost like, you know, you go through life, you're being the best me. Right now, in this quarter, in this chapter, I am striving and working hard on my project of being my best me.
The best Julia Perkins. So glad to have you here with us. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to tell a friend. But this is what Serenity, Strength, and Style looks like. Intergenerational conversations and witnessing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sylvia, just for kind of having that vision.
We have to thank Saquon, too.
And Saquon, okay, all right. So Sylvia and Saquon for really bringing it together, because we need a platform in which people can really share their stories. And all of our stories are different. We walk through life differently.
Powerfully, though, and it's not always like sadness and what somebody
It's true.
outside of your heart is doing.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good.
Peace and blessings. My name is Pilar Audain, and I am Executive Director of Truth, Racial Healing, and Transformation Greater Chicago, an initiative rooted in one simple truth. Before we can change systems and policies, we must first change hearts and minds. At TRHT, we're leading a healing-centered movement that brings people together across generations, neighborhoods, cultures, and lived experiences. Through truth, racial healing, and transformation, our wellness gatherings, storytelling, community dialogue, and leadership development truly helps people reconnect with themselves and one another. We are living in a time where many people are exhausted, overwhelmed, and longing for something deeper. So whether you're a student, an elder, parent, professional, faith leader, or simply someone looking to connect, there's a place in this movement for you. Join us, attend a circle, volunteer, bring healing into your workplace, your neighborhood, because the future that we're hoping for begins with the healing that we simply choose today. Check out our website and simply reach out.
Okay, we've gone from South Shore's finest to Avery R. Young, and we used to say the place to be. I've known you since forever. Yes. There's so many things we can say, Avery, but what's your claim to fame?
Well, the claim to fame at this point would be the Chicago's first poet laureate, but that's also who you ask, because if you ask your daughter, I'm Uncle Avery.
That's right.
And I think a lot of the work that I've done as a mentor and educator in the city is actually my claim to fame.
It really is, because there are so many teaching artists and writers that claimed you as a mentor. Yes. You know, you teased me because I've known you since we did the blues hip hop work. Yes. I guess 2004 and on and 7, yes. But you used to watch me when you were little.
Yes, on Channel 11. In fact, that's the first thing I said when I saw Eve at YCA. I was like, your mother's Channel 11 lady?
Well, now we're the Serenity, Strength, and Style lady right now. I love it. I love it.
Wonderful, yeah. So watching you on Channel 11, and again, and then being able to teach Matt and Eve poetry, and then you're the gift that keeps giving, right? And then you introduced me to Baba Billy, who then
Billy Branch,
who then ends up in my premiere opera at the Lyric Opera House at harmonica with this 51-piece orchestra. So,
I love it. And enough about me. Speaking of that,
yes.
Talk about your passion. Would Sophronia be your passion right now?
Sophronia is my passion in the midst of the art that I get to make. But what Sophronia gets to do as an art piece is tell these stories that are so many times erased in our history. So I love the fact that as an opera, that there was such spectacle and grandeur added to this story about the great
Great Migration.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Black folks coming here. There is a description of Serenity that is a space of calm, a space of peace. How do you walk into that space? Because as dynamic as you are on stage, James Brown Jr. and a blues man and everything else and funky, but you do find a space of serenity. How do you walk into that?
Water.
Oh.
Water. So that's bath, and not noisy water. So I'm not an ocean person. Creek, river, water. In water, being submerged, like I said, in a bath, that's serenity for me, as I also believe that men, children especially, always remember our mothers. And I think that has something that has definitely to me is attached to the womb. That with me, and I'm Cancer, so and I'm Cancerian. So water and being in it or submerged in it and kind of held, and I would even say to being in water that I feel held by. So that's what I'm saying. And quiet water, creek running. I was in a place, Trillium Arts Center, and the house that I was working in, there was a creek right outside of the space, and that was, I was like, okay, this is what I need, this is what I do. I've been also to up north in Park Forest, to
the Falling River or the Frank Lloyd Wrights and all that.
All that stuff is just like really those spaces to be in or be next to when I'm creating. So yeah, water. It was so funny because I really didn't think about that until I got to questions.
Well, I like that.
It's like water. It's definitely water.
And it's part of it's part of our culture in many ways. What gives you strength?
Memory.
Oh, memory.
A lot of my strength comes from memory and also attached to very strong people like my mother, my big mama, and the fact that I grew up around Black people who sang to each other every Sunday in church. Pharaoh's army drowned in the Red Sea. And that signaled in me, even at a young age, that executive power is not ultimate power. And at the end of the day, power is way more consuming than it is exalting.
Wow.
Right? So this thing that your strength doesn't come in your position. Right? Your strength comes in the way you stand in any and every position that you're in. Like your value shouldn't change from the mailroom to the presidency. Your value got to be your value.
It's who you are, deeply rooted in goodness, rooted in goodness.
Yes.
How do you give back to our people? I mean, I know, so first of all, we know opera. You created an opera.
Yes.
It's hilarious that we did a conversation where we had an opera expert, because, people start asking questions and you like, did I see an opera? You did an opera,
Yes, an opera.
For our people, but how else do you give back?
Man, outside of the art, I believe my greatest asset to people is really has been my time as Uncle Avery.
Yeah.
It's really
Ask Avery.
Right. It's really presence, right? The gift, and my gift, or what I'm always reminded about with Eve and Jamila is just the fact that I'm there.
Jamila Woods,
Yeah, it's just the fact that that they hear me because I'm laughing loud in the audience. So something they know that Uncle Avery's in the building, which is about presence. So the biggest gift I believe that anybody can give to their community is their actual presence. It's the actual be in the space with the people and work with people and not around them and or for them, right? So
yeah, I mean, there's so much we could say about that, because you were able to give advice to young people that parents can't give. And when I walked into the Obama Center, into the president's reading room and saw two of my oldest child's books, that's from Uncle Avery. And your literal column in Young Chicago Authors, Say What? Ask Avery. It's like, ooh, ask Avery. Mom don't want to talk about that. But, you know,
it's cool. You know, it's cool. One of the things that when you teach art, and specifically poetry, right, you learn the things as a poetry teacher that the mamas and daddies don't know.
well, that's true.
Right.
Well, ooh, that's deep. Yeah.
Because it's been things that they have not revealed to anybody, right? It's a means in which they're given a platform to speak in a way they may not have in a household, right? Who gets 3 minutes to tell anybody anything about what they're feeling from something that they've seen and or experienced, right? And once they trust you enough with whatever that story was, to me, it's a bond right then and there.
For life.
Right? When as an educator, all I've thought was possible to do is to be responsible for that bond that was created. So again, be there. I'm just not excited about the fact that I've taught Eve or Jamila or Nate and these
Nate Marshall.
Nate Marshall. I've been at weddings, prom send-offs, baby showers, baby's name.
All of that.
All of that.
All of that. You show up.
I show up, you know, and I feel like that was my responsibility. So like, again, when you ask me how, you know, what the gift I give to people is I show up.
Oh, that's such a reminder for people watching. And as a reminder, you're watching Serenity, Strength, and Style with Sylvia Ewing and Friends. This is one of my dearest friends, Avery R. Young. Avery, so we've done events and you've changed outfits 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
Describe your style. How do you walk through the world? What's your style?
Ooh-wee. I believe I like...
Ooh-wee. We can start with that. Ooh-wee.
You know, I grew up around black folks who stepped out. And so, and I love to see vintage photographs of my aunts and uncles and grandparents, and just like how they dress. And I remember, I always tell this story because I think this has everything to do with what informs how I dress and how I move about the world. My big mama, they are called from Lexington, Mississippi. And so going downtown for them was an event that at least required that you dress properly.
Right. And life or death in some instances.
Right. And that was carried with them into the migration up into the northern cities. And I remember going down to the Marshall Field window, and she put us in like church clothes to go to the Marshall Field window. And when we get down there, everybody else is like in shirts and jackets and gym shoes, and we looking like it's Easter. we at the Jesus birth windows at the resurrection, right? We looking like it's straight up Easter. And I was just like, why are we doing this? You know, like why are we so, I mean, Vaseline on face, the whole 9 yards, right? We're down there and she is just like, because you show up, that you won't shame my house, right? And it has evolved, or that understanding has, of course, have evolved. I'm a creator. I'm an artist. I don't necessarily have to walk around in a shirt and tie, but I do believe that I have to show up. And the outer, right, is just an expression of what's on the inner, like with this jacket I have, with my drip I have on right now, right?
You got Basquiat on the back.
All those things is really about like I'm an artist, I'm a creative, so this is what I get to do with my style is showcase the fact that I am a creative. My sit down job is my creativity, so that is, you know, Big Mama always said to me, get you a sit down job, right?
I love that sit down job. I love that sit down job.
Get you a sit down job, and I'm like, yeah, my sit down job is my creativity, yeah.
Well, what are you passionate about? My last question. What are you looking forward to from yourself or others? Not next week, because we don't know about all the timing, but, what's exciting? Because you have the floating museum thing, too.
We had a floating museum. We just did a wonderful, wonderful activation with the PRA here, the Puerto Rican Association, with the Puerto Rican Pride Parade. We're working with For Mecca, which is an inflatable that honors the Mecca Flats building, which is now IIT, or the campus of IIT. I definitely would like to do more theater work, and I am also still dedicated to showing up, because again, right after the parade, I ran over to the LaSalle Museum to see Jamila, Damon, and Christiana.
Oh my gosh!
With their
all
show.
the babies.
All the babies. I was like, I had to come. He was like, you here? And I'm like, I had to show up for the nieces and nephews. So to be able to still do that, and I'm committing myself now to 2 weeks vacation.
Heard it here first, okay? We're about the health and wellness, serenity, strength, and style. I appreciate that. I love you, Avery R. Young, the place to be. Thank you so much. And thank you for watching. Look for my brother around the country. And thank you so much. I know.
If you know what I'm talking about, say yeah. What you say it now? What you say it now? What you say, say the blues to the world. What you say it now? What you say it now? What you say?
Wow. All right. So y'all know how to bring it. Give it up for Avery, Shawn, Sons of the Blues. Billy Branch. All right, we do have a farewell, and our farewell is to invite you to stop and breathe. You felt all the energy, step back, catch your breath, and thank the band, because they are amazing. I'm looking for all the folks, but I'm not going to name them now. This is what we're going to do. We're going to ask you to take this with you into the world, to take this with you when you breathe in and breathe out, to take this with you when you feel your inner light. We called the ancestors. My mother Louise loved this little light of mine. We're going to hear a little bit of that. If you know the words, we invite you to sing. Shawn? Version. Come on,
I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. All in my home, y'all. I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, all in my home, y'all. I'm gonna let it shine. All in my home, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Hey, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Oh.
Serenity, strength and style. Oh yeah, breathing calm, let the chaos fade. Mind and body in rhythm remade. Step onto the path, feel the groove of grace. Every heart